back at Middle America.
Not even a series of disasters, 2 crashes, and an appendicitis operation are allowed to interrupt the march of exploration. Weather clear, a steady barometer, and with standby orders to fly, Chief Pilot June and his aviation crew make ready for the crucial flight. The ground crew guides the giant plane, and with its 2 engines of 1,400 horsepower pulling in rhythm, the whale-bodied Condor breaks from her drift-covered berth.
Charlie, how'd you like to go along?
Not for the whole national debt.
I promise you a nice southern exposure.
Are you still determined to go through with this thing?
Certainly. We got a meteorological station out there, and we're going to use it.
It's a pity it's so late in the season that we can't get enough supplies out there for 3 men.
Well, it can't be helped now.
So you still insist on doing it alone?
There's no choice. You know it's impossible for 2 men psychologically. It's got to be 1 man.
I know, Dick. To talk about it is one thing. But 7 months of cold, darkness, solitude, it's a long, long time.
Okay, Charlie. I know all about that. But you see, it's up to me to go. Besides, I want to do it.
It's 43 below, Admiral. The oil is chilling.
Coming?
Any instructions?
There's only one standing order. Under no circumstances shall anyone come for me during the winter night.
Suppose we lose radio contact.
You probably will. I'm the world's worst radio operator. So don't let yourself get stampeded into any relief effort. Somebody might get hurt.
That's a tough order.
Well, it's a safe one. Let's go.
Here she comes, 9.5 tons of straining steel and fabric. The heaviest load ever lifted on steam. She's off, a beautiful takeoff. June circling over Little America. He gains altitude over this newly founded capital of the unknown. Seen from the air for the first time since that historic and intrepid flight over the South Pole, now they've squared away. The sun compass, Byrd lays a course to the eastward, toward the unknown, undiscovered land which has eluded him on half a dozen flights. Will that distant storm-marked horizon this time yield its ancient secret? Making 100 knots, they take a shortcut across an arm of Ross Sea. Like chips from a whittler's knife, the miles fall behind them, 2 to the minute. Eastward, ever eastward. In the smooth air, they fly unhindered over the frightful disturbances that make sledging a constant nightmare. Pressure ridges, crevasses, miles upon miles of huge crevasses like gaping wounds. Some of them are 100 feet wide, with sheer blue-green walls and no bottom. A swell place to get rid of old razor blades, but a ghastly place for a forced landing. And now Delta indicates something below on the plateau. It's the tractor party, 1 month out of Little America, still gamely carrying on. Man, what a story these pioneering gasoline gypsies could tell. One machine broken down, the other crippled, no service station nearer than 200 miles. Sorry, fellows, no hitchhikers. Steadily they forge eastward, hour after hour. And at last, on the threshold of discovery, their weary senses are freshened by the thrill of looking upon that which no other human eyes have ever seen. A thing which Byrd had sought through 2 expeditions, that remote and inaccessible land which had drawn explorers to its frontiers like filings to a magnet, and then mockingly flung them back. That land now slowly unlocks its secrets of the centuries. Peak upon peak, streaming as far as Byrd could see. A great and mountainous land larger than Texas, but condemned to everlasting rigidity. Once a tropical climate carpeted these slopes with luxuriant vegetation, but the floodgates of the last ice age were opened. Oceans of glacial ice drowned all but the tallest peaks, and all life except tiny crawling microscopic things was extinguished. A lost world, as barren as a dead planet, a world where sun and darkness are forever struggling for ascendancy, a world wrenched from the twilight of the ice age and restored by American daring to the knowledge of mankind. Now the clouds are massing behind them, as if the furies of the Antarctic, angered by the rupture of their ancient secrets, were mobilizing to chastise the invader.
We at last saw under us the site of the advanced outpost. Just a tiny speck in the immensity of the limitless rolling snow plain.